So I took one for the team and I went ahead and both reinstalled and played well over 2 hours of the brand new Gotham Knights DLC / update. Now, this was a very bizarre update to begin with because they went ahead and teased it over on Twitter with this tweet where they went ahead and said, oh, all the bad guys got together. What are they up to? And then literally less than 24 hours later, they're like, hey, here you go. Here's the Kelvin incident. It has now dropped and you have a brand new piece of content to go on ahead and play in Gotham Knights. I'm going to talk about the quality or lack thereof of this DLC in just a moment, but first I wanted to go on ahead and address some of the other details around it. That way you feel like you are super duper informed on what exactly is in this update. So, first and foremost, it seems like the update was very much skewed towards fixing a lot of things, particularly on the PC side. I can only speak on the console side of things as far as patch size, but it was about 1.37 gigs, whereas on PC, from what I understand, it was a little bit larger because, again, it was really tackling a lot of problems over on the PC that were happening, I guess, over the last little while. So first and foremost, there's a ton of UI fixes, which you can see right here surmised on the screen for you. There were stability and optimization fixes that were also implemented, and just general fixes as a whole were implemented as well, including simple things like getting people kicked out if you were playing with Steam or Epic crossplay matches, which was something that I do know was occurring before. So supposedly that has now been fixed. So if you have a friend who owns the game on Steam and you own the game on PC, you should be able to actually cross-play the game now. I actually really appreciate this next element of the update, and that is the accessibility feature. So first and foremost, obviously from an accessibility standpoint, implementing text-to-speech is wonderful. But I also really like the idea that they went ahead and offered now complete controller remapping. That means you can go on ahead and controller remap for whatever buttons you would like to do, which is super duper nice. And they also went ahead and allowed you now to convert buttons that previously needed to be held down and now just be changed to a toggle, aka a simple button prompt. And so that's all the technical jargon all out of the way. Again, I'm sure if you're a PC player, you're actually happy to see a lot of these fixes because supposedly, besides the fact that they fixed the frame rate on PC, which I think was the most important thing to fix because it literally made the game unbearable to play, I think that these are obviously definitely nice to see that most of these things have now been addressed and you PC players get to go on ahead and enjoy the game at a higher level of quality than before. But let's get into the actual meat and potatoes of this, and that is the DLC itself. So first and foremost, we have the Kelvin incident. Now, initially, when I went ahead and made a video on this, a lot of people thought that it actually said RIP Kevin as an tribute to the great Kevin Conroy. That was not the case because it actually said RIP Kelvin, and Kelvin is the name that the robot that Mr. Freeze uses, the big giant crowbot. Robot? Did I just come up with a new name? I think I did. The crab robot, aka the crowbot, I guess, that Mr. Freeze goes on ahead and uses is actually called Kelvin. And this goes on ahead and also comes along with a brand new 15-floor raid available in New Game Plus or after unlocking the raid area and defeating all the side villain missions. So again, the caveat here is that in order to access this content, you do need to either get into New Game Plus or have already completed all the side villain missions within the core game in order to have access to Hero Assault and then this new version of Hero Assault called the Kelvin Incident. Now from there, from a gameplay perspective, I spent about 2 hours playing this, and I gotta be honest, one thing that I'm both frustrated about but also happy that I had to experience was playing solo. I was streaming this, and at the time we didn't have anybody in the chat who was able to join to play along. So because of that, for the first time ever, I played this game's horde mode in single player, and I gotta be honest, it just felt cruel. It just did not feel like it was any fun. It felt like it was forcing me to not behave like a superhero in any way, shape, or form, and I had to play extremely cowardly to even make it through one floor. And to me, I think that that's kind of a bummer, especially in a game like this, because if, let's say, this game had a really, really lively and active install base online where you could immediately find teammates and you'd never have a problem playing the game with 4 players, then I really would say, well, you know what? It's not a problem. Find some random teammates, even if you can't find any friends that are playing at the time, and just play along with them. But the problem is that the game is not very lively when it comes to the multiplayer side of things. So because of that, I really feel like a lot of people, unfortunately, will either A, never even give this particular DLC a chance, or B, will never give it a chance because they will be forced to try it solo, and they will be so extremely frustrated that they would just immediately give up on it. Which, to be honest, I can't blame you for it, because it is an absolutely atrocious experience if you're playing through this alone. But let's say you do have some friends to join you on an adventure. Is it fun? Well, I would say it's about as fun as the Starro missions. There's really not much else here. Now, they try to make it a bit more exciting by adding new villains that are supercharged, but it's really kind of a gimmick and it doesn't really change the gameplay all that much. Even the boss fights themselves are the previous boss fights that you experienced, just in different combinations. So instead of just fighting one of the villains, you will now be able to go on ahead and fight them in different combinations as they get paired up together, quote unquote, making it more of a challenge. But I also don't want to make it seem like there is no new content, because they actually did add new content. Because I know some people could say, well, this is just basically taking the existing content and repurposing it again. And I would say from a villain perspective, you're absolutely correct. Unfortunately, we didn't get like a new villain that we get to battle, which I think would have been awesome. But they did go on ahead and include, as part of this update, some brand new mythic gear. So the new rarity or gear that now goes on ahead and drops just from this raid. They also introduced a new material type, which is, I believe, the salvage material, which once again will drop from the raid as well. And they went ahead and dropped 4 new Bat Cycle transmogs to be unlocked, which, again, if you use the Bat Cycle, obviously you'll be probably pretty happy to have 4 new colorways to utilize for the Bat Cycle. And then the thing that I was personally most excited about as far as the new content is concerned is actually the suit transmog that was dropped for all 4 characters. So you have the new Batgirl outfit, the new Nightwing outfit, which I actually quite like. I think it looks cool. The new Robin suit, which looks terrific. And last but certainly not least, the Red Hood, who I actually thinks kind of looks mid out of the 4 that we get here. So there you go, guys. That is the newest update for Gotham Knights. It seems like it did do a little bit of fixing on the PC side of things. It offered a little bit new accessibility features on both the PC and consoles. And as far as the content is concerned, it just kind of feels very mid. Unfortunately, I saw somebody reply to the Gotham Knights post about this DLC, and they said, and the crowd goes mild. And I really feel like that surmises very well the overall vibe from this DLC. I think the fact that we were all hoping for a possible new character, I think the fact that we were all hoping for a possible batch of new skins, maybe even a new villain, kind of added probably to the disappointment with this. And then of course the other thing that is definitely a bother is the fact that we don't have an idea of what is next. It feels like the community is always just left in this weird limbo state where we're supposed to be kind of thinking like, okay, so is this it? Like, is this the last piece of DLC, or are they going to do something beyond this in the future? We really don't know, and they have not gone ahead and clarified any of that sort of information for us to be aware of. So there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. If you do want to see some of the crazy epic concept stuff that was actually done for this game, including some new villains, some new heroes, make sure to check out the video you're seeing currently on your screen. And if you're more of a Marvel person, I also have a really exciting update for Marvel's Spider-Man 2 for you to check out as well. Thanks a lot for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have an absolutely fantastic day. Peace out. See you later, alligators.